Hi, my name is Tarek. I lead the cloud and infrastructure practice at Wavestone and also coordinate the development of our broader capabilities and value propositions. My background is 25 years in IT, driving change and transformation in IT operations, both service management and service delivery, and across operating model transformations as well. People say there are only two constants in life, death and taxes, but I think there is a third, change. Alvin Toffler, the writer and futurist, famously said that the illiterate of today are not those who cannot read and write. The illiterate of today are people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So at the core of what we do is support organizations in their inevitable need to evolve and transform so they can stay competitive and survive. And a large proportion of that change in this day and age is digital transformation. Many organizations are on that digital transformation journey, having defined vision and also chosen technologies, but are struggling with getting the dependent technologies and ways of working adopted across the organization at the pace required to support the business requirements. In this context, the value we offer, especially to IT leaders, is to help them accelerate the adoption of digital transformation. This could mean helping to learn and adopt new things, but also optimize what they currently have, i.e. deal with the legacy. Successful transformations now, more than ever, requires multidisciplinary expertise that can bring business, functional, and technology capabilities to define and drive transformations. The role we play at Wavestone is at the intersect of these three things. With a unique operating model that enables our clients to leverage the skills and expertise of over 3,500 consultants across Europe, North America, and Asia, we build multidisciplinary teams with experience in a variety of sectors and technologies, as well as business functions, to help our clients achieve their business objectives. For all IT leaders in particular, this means having the ability to bring sourcing, infrastructure security, change management, and data analysis capabilities, amongst others, to help understand the implications of integrating new technologies, defining the most effective ways of implementing them, and driving efficiencies in their current IT estate. In almost all cases, the feedback from the business on the speed at which IT teams were able to respond was overwhelmingly positive. In fact, there's an increasing narrative around why all IT projects cannot be delivered so quickly. From my perspective, the crisis has really provided a platform for IT leaders and functions to be seen as true business partners, not just as a supplier. Now though, after the initial phase to adapt, I'm seeing some cleanup activities to resolve any tactical decisions that had to be made around technology implementation and also policy adjustments to ensure things could be done quickly. Also activities to address gaps in crisis management and business continuity capabilities highlighted as a result of the crisis. Given everything that organizations have learned and the uncertainty of the future, many are stepping back to review their existing strategies at all levels, be it real estate, sourcing, hosting, etc., and reprioritize the portfolio of change accordingly. Finding cost efficiencies is still a key focus. One of the overarching things, though, that I'm seeing is that in general, the companies that are surviving or even thriving more than ever before are those that are more progressed on their digital transformation journeys. We as consumers only have to look at the way our lives have changed and how we consume services now, and what services we no longer or rarely use as evidence of this. You don't just have to look at the growth of Amazon over the last few months as proof. I think you can see through the behavior of consumers and who they're choosing to engage with for critical services like education and even healthcare. The move is clearly towards organizations that can provide services online or digital platforms in a secure way. When I look at the core areas companies are seeking help in, it's clear that there are still pandemic-related activities, be it clearing up as a result of accelerated implementation activities or development and execution of the new normal strategy. But I'm also seeing organizations go back to accelerate things that ensure cost efficiencies and growth. When I look at the areas we are currently helping clients in, I see four key themes. Firstly, identifying opportunities to leverage the investments and learnings made through the last few months and define potential new ways of working and operating models. Secondly, finding cost savings across the organization, whether it be related to sourcing, application rationalization and modernization, or infrastructure transformation and simplification, is also a very strong theme. This is across internal and user services and enterprise customer services solutions as well. Clients are talking to us about ways to accelerate the adoption of cloud services, deal with technical debt, improve and consolidate their network infrastructure. Accelerating the development and implementation of digital services is also a recurring theme, and a strong one at that. In particular, how to get change and new initiatives implemented successfully. The final key theme I'm seeing with our clients is related to securing digital services and reducing operational and regulatory risk. Cyber and risk topics are still high on the agenda for most, not only from a perspective of the integration of new technologies, but also from the perspective of managing third-party risks. The latter is key, as many clients are moving to outsource parts of their architecture or operations due to the need to meet modernization and simplification objectives. You could argue that these are not new themes, and you'd be right. However, from my perspective, it does feel like there's a lot more urgency now than perhaps there was before the crisis. But much like the best-selling book by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, The One Thing, organizations are trying to identify those key activities that, if completed, will help address multiple areas in one go, so they can be as efficient as possible with the limited resources that they have. This type of broad and holistic change inevitably relates to, guess what? Accelerating the adoption of digital transformation. I think all organizations, irrespective of sector, should be thinking about how their business and operating models can be resilient to the types of stress a pandemic or similar crisis can cause. At a business model level, are their value propositions still compelling, and do they have a robust method of delivering them? From an operational model perspective, business continuity planning across your whole organization is going to be key. Resilience not only in delivering services, but also in supply chains and internal processes. I think companies should be thinking, if not already, about digitization and digitalization across the entire organization. We've seen a focus and a rapid investment in all organizations to ensure that employees have the ability to work from anywhere. Kind of decouple them from the physical office and made them part of the digital fabric. To really leverage this, I think there will be a strong focus on digitizing all underlying operational processes to enable them to be fulfilled remotely, with all the audit and security or compliance requirements required. Once this is done and the organization is truly digital, the resultant data generated and captured within the organization is going to be the catalyst for more radical innovation to drive efficiencies, customer experience and growth. Organizations are going to be looking at reanalyzing existing customer journeys as well. The recent pandemic has shown how those have evolved very fast, and organizations need to be able to adjust their services accordingly. As I mentioned before, change is a constant, and whether organizations have a passive or active approach to it, they will always have to transform in some way, especially as a result of recent global events. This transformation, I believe, will inevitably heavily focus on digital topics and themes. So, an exciting times ahead for all of us that want to reimagine the future and collectively accelerate our journey into the digital age in a positive way.